Jose will have some detailed examples on the variations under the DSCR program because that is our topic for today. So let me go ahead and change my screen here. And we'll let Jose start talking about DSCR loans. Definitely our most popular loan by far. Definitely our most flexible loan by far. There are so many variations. We try to do episodes on all of them. It's really an exhaustive program. There's hundreds of different variations. 40-year interest only variations. We can add all kinds of different prepayment options. There is a ton of options once our investors get into these programs, where we can mix and match to make it work for exactly what they need. Short-term rental income, rural properties, all kinds of different things that we have the ability to put together. So, Jose, I'm sure you got a couple cool examples, so I'll go ahead and pass it over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us in this very exciting daily rates live with the mortgage calculator. Always amazing when we have good news. The 10-year is dropping like a rock, and we are seeing the benefits out of it. Now, obviously, today's show's only half an hour, so we can't go into all of the variations that we can do with DSCR, which is such an amazing program, like Nick was mentioning. We can use the DSCR for all types of non-conforming type uses, short-term rentals, less than properties that aren't cash flowing at a 1.0, right? We can do properties cash flowing technically all the way down to zero, right? So 4-unit properties, we can do them at the same LTV as a 1-unit property, except for the 15% down option, which is limited to 1-unit properties only. But on most DSCR options, 1 to 4-unit properties, when the DSCR is 1.0 or above, for sure, 1 to 4-unit are the same pricing. So let me get into some examples here for you, because I do have quite a few. So our first example here is our DSCR unicorn, like I like to call it, our 1-unit purchase with only 15% down. Now, this is available only for 1-unit properties. This is not an option for 2 to 4-unit properties. And believe it or not, the best pricing is available with the 3-year prepayment option, because when we add the 5-year prepayment option, this favorable price conduit is eliminated. So, which actually has better pricing than the 5-year option. So here we're looking at 10.875, which is almost at par, but with a nice deep rate sheet and not a lot of cost for each eighth of a percent drop. You can take it down all the way to 9.25%, which is very low and amazing for a 15% down DSCR option. Obviously, the catch is it has to cash flow. This is not a less than 1.0 option. So very little catches here. 1 unit and above 1.0, but great option for your investors. That way they can buy 2 properties instead of 1. Here is another. Now we're going with 20% down, which is the more traditional, if there's anything traditional about a DSCR loan, the more traditional option. But you can see how the rates get smoking at 20% down. 8.5% actually has a lender credit. Remember, this is a DSCR loan we're talking about here now at an 80% LTV. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.375%. Now I added a 5-year prepay to this option, so we do get a little bit of an improvement here now. You see it drops the rate by 0.375, which is pretty good for adding the extra 2 years on there, and you can buy that down all the way to 7.125. So this is one way, obviously, to help your DSCR if you're trying to make it to the 1.0, so you can offer the borrower the better rate. Just go with the 5-year prepay, or trying to work the points and fees in a compliant manner. Just add the 5-year prepay, and the pricing, for example, here at 8%, it's 1.25. Here at 8%, it's 0.25. So it's a full 1 point in cost swing betterment by adding the 5-year instead of the 3-year prepay. And then for our house hackers out there, we do have, I just wanted to show you so you can see with your own eyes that the rate is the same. Now, this is the 3-year prepay. The rate is the same, exactly the same for the 4-unit as the 1-unit when we are at our more quote unquote traditional LTVs for a DSCR. So now dropping the LTV a little bit more just so that you can see. And now this is with a 5-year as well. So you can see now 8% has a lender credit of 0.225. And you can buy that down to 7.125, and it does better the cost by a little bit there. Now here's where it gets interesting. Our less than 1.0 DSCR. Now keep in mind that the DSCRs, depending on which option that we pick, there are short-term rental capabilities, right? Where you can use AirDNA. You can use short-term rental revenue reports, usually require 12 months, but we have options, I believe, where if you have less than 12 months, they will consider it on the short-term rental revenue report. So if it's a purchase, the seller is doing short-term rental of the property and they are willing to share the revenue reports, which there's no reason why they shouldn't, right? Because that's going to help them sell their property. You can do it. On a refi as well. You cannot use AirDNA, obviously, on a refi. You have to use actual data. So here, for our 0.75 to 0.99 1-unit purchase with 25% down and a 3-year prepay, remember, we're not cash flowing here. We can still do 9.25 with a lender credit, and you can buy that down to 8.125. So very good option. Now we have this is the one that really blows your mind, our less than 0.75. Now, these no ratio options, a 0.75 to 0.99 and less than 0.75, are also very good to use for those trophy properties. It's going to be a short-term rental. You don't have any AirDNA comps. You don't have short-term rental revenue reports, but you do have your own data. And you know you're going to kill it. You just got to close on it. Well, this is the one to make it happen right here. 25% down is all it takes. No ratio, and 9.875 is your lowest cost option, and you can buy that down to 9.5%. And now we have our 1-unit cash out, 75% LTV. And we have 8.5% with a little bit of a lender credit. And you can buy that down to 7.5%. This is our over 1.0 DSCR. Now, on the cash out, this is a very interesting anomaly here. Just want to make you guys aware of it, that the 0.75 to 0.99 option is the same maximum LTV, whether it's a purchase, rate and term, or cash out. 75% LTV is possible on a DSCR cash out, 0.75 to 0.99. This option with a 3-year prepay, 5-year prepay is available, is possible. So here, 10.125 is par, but look at how deep that rate sheet goes, all the way to 7.99%. So definitely benefit there. And Last but not least, our DSCR less than 0.75 cash out does allow up to a 70% LTV on that option. And we have 10.375 is almost at par, and you can buy that down to 8.25%. So again, remember our DSCR options are the best choice for your short-term rental properties, your trophy properties, the investor that doesn't want to disclose any of their private information, just DSCR, and you would just qualify the borrower off of the property's cash flow.
All right. So you can see there why that's our favorite loan program. Absolutely amazing products there. But I don't see any questions. So I think we can wrap this up. Remember, we do this 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday where we go through the live rates and then do a deep dive into a different topic. So we'll be back tomorrow with a new topic. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Jose. We'll see everybody tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, for the next episode of Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Have a great day, everyone.
Get out there and requote those deals. Loan applications are up 14%, people.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.